Yeah! First of all, it is hot with these lights, and I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to do this again, as we just said. Wait, actually, how many people were here last time I spoke? Like, that was back in November last year. Okay, cool. So, for those of you that weren't here, I'm not a preacher and I won't hold you long, and because I'm not a preacher, I mean that. So, I know they like to hold you, a little bit longer, but that is not my intention today. It really is awesome to just, be here with you guys and just talk to you. This message that God gave me, I've had actually ever since the last time I spoke over here, which is kind of cool because that's been a good couple of months, and he's just been adding on stuff and telling me what he wants me to say, and I'm like, okay, God, just tell me what you want me to do. So I'm gonna say this just as I guess so you can just know ahead of time. This is one of those messages where I might preach, so y'all got to stay with me, y'all got to ride with me. So if you feel like I'm scorching some earth here with some truth, just say woo, yeah, be like something, amen, yeah, that works too. But we live in a world where we're kind of we're sideways with the relationships that we have, and it's kind of cool because Pastor Mike has been talking about 5 relationships you can't live without. And I just want to talk about actually one particular relationship, but before I do that, I want to just talk about relationships in general. So we can all agree that we all have a relationship with pretty much everyone we know. No. Yeah. Hey, go. And it's kind of crazy. You have different types of relationships. You might have a relationship with someone where it's like I barely speak to them, or you could have a relationship where, that's your homeboy, homegirl, whatever you call them, your best friend, bestie, best friends for life, all that, and everything. And it's just really cool that, we have to have that in order to survive, because you can't not talk to people. You have to have some type of interaction or communication with somebody to just pretty much be successful. That's kind of cool how God set that up. So cool, thanks God. And it's just really cool that we have so many relationships with people, but I just need to know how many people here are just single right now. They're just okay, cool. Okay, so how many people have be honest, how many people have a kind of it's complicated relationship? Where it's kind of, okay, cool. Even the people upstairs, you guys can answer this too. And how many people are I'm in a relationship right now, I'm cool with that, I'm cool with letting the world know. Oh, okay, you don't have too many people, so that's good. Hey, there you go.
I'm proud.
Yes. So, before I start that, I got to read a scripture. Let's see here. Let me get to the good one. All right, here we go. I'm going to start there. This is Job chapter 1, verses 1 through 3. It says, there was a man in the land of Uz, yes, it says Uz, whose name was Job, and that man was blameless and upright, one who feared God and turned away from evil. There were born to him 7 sons and 3 daughters. So right off the bat, he's doing pretty good because that's 10 children. So I mean that's pretty cool. Could you imagine because that's 7 sons and 3 daughters. Can you imagine having 10 kids?
No.
That is a lot. I'm like, Job was doing something. I don't know what he's doing. But I'm not all 10. Okay, so he possessed 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500. Oh, okay, cool. 500 yoke of oxen. That means you know what that means. You guys know. And then 500 female donkeys. I think it's safe to say that Job is pretty rich right now. Because in Bible times, if you have a lot of animals, that means that you are very rich. So
he's making bank.
He's pretty safe right now. Like, you know, if anything happened, he'd be like, here, take one of my donkeys, take one of my camels. It's got a hump and everything, man. Like you'll have war, man. You can do anything with this, okay? Just take some. I got a whole bunch, and it's just really cool. And it keeps going. It talks about how blessed he is. One of my favorite parts about it is like when he would get his children to their. Let me see, pull it up. If I can grab it. Okay, so verses 4-5, it starts talking about how he would get his children together and they would feast like every day, and he would pray over them and consecrate them and make sure they were in good standing with God, because he doesn't want to be the only one upright in his family. So he wants his children to have some uprightness with them too. So it's just kind of cool how like the whole family was just kind of working and they knew God. And if you keep reading, it keeps talking about how Job was tested, but through it all he overcame it, and it was just really, really cool. That's a really cool story because like dude had everything happen to him and he was still like, I can't curse God. I'm like, dude, you lost your kids, you lost all of your wealth pretty much. Your wife is saying, look, dude, I don't even know who this God is that you're talking about. Well, I kind of do because, you won't stop talking about him. But, why are you serving him? Just curse him. Just get it over with. Let's just quit this all together. And he was like, no, I can't because he's been too good to me. And that's like a really cool relationship. That's a really cool relationship to have. So I want to talk about that. Let me see if I can get back to the one I would like to be on. Because I have a question for you guys, and that is the question. What is your spiritual relationship status? So, say, Dennis, what are you talking about? Well, I believe that we can have 3 types. Has anyone ever, been on Facebook or whatever, however you sign up or something, and it asks you, are you single, have a discomplicated relationship, or just in a relationship? Has anyone ever had a test or something you had to put up there? I know the grown-ups have, obviously, because they had to fill out forms and stuff. But in your spiritual life, you normally either have a single relationship, a discomplicated relationship, or you're just full-blown in a relationship. Let me break that down a little bit further. So, let's say to my left is just the single box over here. So, now if I have a single relationship, there are 2 types of people that are in a single relationship. One is a person who knows everything about God, but still doesn't want to be with him. That sounds kind of weird because God is everything, and I'll get to that in a second. But they know everything about God, but still don't want to do anything with him or talk to him or be with him. And then the second person is an ignorant person. Now, when I say ignorant, that means you don't have the knowledge that you need to succeed in your life. That rhymed, I know. But you don't have the knowledge that you need to succeed in your life. So, if you're single and you're ignorant, then you don't know anything about God. You're new to this. And we all started out that way somehow. I was saved at 7. So pretty much from birth till 6 years old, I was ignorant. So I didn't know anything about God. I just knew getting up and going to church every morning, hearing my mom or my dad speak, or something happened, and the choir is always falling out because it's hot and they're feeling the Holy Spirit and all this, and I'm just like, can we just go back to the house and watch Power Rangers or something, or Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, something, because y'all are taking this way too far. And then, as I grew up, I started understanding, oh, okay, I get it now. This is what's happening. So some people, if you're single, you choose to stay that way with your spiritual relationship with God. That's I'm not into that right now, God. I'm not looking for that type of relationship, like we're better than God. I'm gonna work on myself over here for a moment, and then I'll come find you somewhere. So, you have 2 choices. You can A, move over to the right, where you're in a relationship, or B, you can try to make it work. You can take your left foot and your right foot and put them on two opposite sides, and you can try to please God and try to please people at the same time. Then there's the people that have met Jesus, and they're just full-blown in a relationship, don't care who knows, don't care who's around, they're praising Jesus. Now, if you have not met this person, then you need to go find Miss Mary Ann, because she stays that way all the time. I love her, and it is great. It's just, she just stays that way the whole time. But that's good, because you know she's dependable. Because like, if you need prayer, you know where to go. Like, you have somebody. But sometimes some people get hurt. Some people start believing in God. They're in a full-blown relationship. It's great. It's good. It's going great. But then something happens. Something just kind of stops. Like maybe a parent left, or your house got destroyed, or maybe you ended up with a sickness, or something happened where you kind of just slide back over till you find yourself just surrounded by people and God is nowhere in your sight at all. Or some people, when that happens, they just try to make it work. They're like, okay, well, God, I understand what you're saying, but like my friends over here, my family are over here. Everything that I hold dear is over here. It's like you'll keep looking up, but then you'll keep looking back. And you try to fix it. You try to make it work for you. Because apparently that's what the relationship is. It's just all about you. So, if you're single, like I said, there's two types of people. There's people who know everything about God, and there's the other person who's just ignorant and knows nothing. Now, if you're a person that knows everything about God, and you're just here tonight, and you're just chilling, and didn't expect this, so you probably go to school, you have a lot of friends, you hang out with them, you're pretty much, just like, party all night. Yeah, let's go to sleepovers and let's just do everything. Let's drive. Let's just live it up and not care about anything in the world. Let's just do this, man. And you're just here and you're just listening and you're just waiting for this to be over. So you can go do those things. You can go hang out with those friends. So you can go have that type of relationship, spiritual relationship that you want. And you're not even trying to please God. You're just like, God, I don't have time for you right now. God, I don't want you right now. I'm just going to stay in my lane. Then there's some people who have it's complicated relationship with God. And this one I think is my favorite one to talk about, because here's where the preaching starts. Okay? So, I need you guys to roll with me. Can you hang with me for a second? Okay, can I be honest here for a second? Okay, all right, here we go. Help me, Jesus. Okay, so you're here tonight, and you know that this is the only night that you're able to come to church. So you just come here, just to get a little bit of Jesus, just to keep him in your soul for a little bit, so that way you can justify what you're doing later. You say, let me go to church. Let me pray to God real quick. Let me have this relationship just real quick with him, so when I leave this place, I can just go back to my friends. But still, seek you sometimes. Because you're still in the picture, God. You're not all the way gone. But, my friends, my family, they're dragging me over here. Be totally real with you guys. My girlfriend's leading me over here. My boyfriend's leading me over here. They said, well, I look good today, so that's okay. Who cares? Everything over here is what I love, and then there's just God. We try to make it work. But then you kind of end up losing one or the other, or both. Because if you try to put God and people and what they want on the same level, you're going to find out real quick that what they want, what he wants, cannot coexist in the same atmosphere, in the same universe, in the same place. Because God is way more important than what anyone else wants from you. God is way more important than what you feel like you need to do at this moment. If you don't have a relationship with God, then you're going to get swept up. There is no, well, maybe I don't have to talk to him, but I can still just come here and just pray occasionally, just try to make it work. It doesn't work that way. Because you're going to lose one or the other. And you don't want to lose either one, so you keep trying to make it work, but then you find out that you can't. You just stop. You're left with a choice. You can be with people, find another group to be with, and just stay there, or you can fully commit to God. Now, like I said, if you have not met a person that's in a full-blown relationship with Jesus, talk to Miss Mary Ann. And she's still considerably new to the faith. She's still getting the hang of it. But the thing about it is that she never gives up. She never gives up. She's always in the road. She's always in the Word. She's always trying to learn. She's always trying to better herself so she can be the Christian that God has called her to be. And it gets hard. Yeah, it does get hard because you got to figure out what's right, what's wrong. If you haven't met a person that's just so in love with Jesus, talk to my mom, talk to my sister, because they raised me to be this way. So all this up here is just the product of them. Then add some of Miss Mary Ann, Miss Dina, Mr. Rhodes, wherever he is. It's just like a whole group of people that are like, okay, you can do this, like work it out, get some Jesus in you, start working on your gift and, pursue God. And I was like, okay, all right. These people, these crazy people, might have something, actually to say. So I had to start listening to them, started building up, and then, finally got up here, and that was pretty cool. And it's not always easy to have a relationship with Jesus, just because sometimes when you're in a relationship, and you're in a full-blown relationship, and you're worshiping Him, and you're praising Him, there's always that one thing that the devil knows can turn your head. There's always that one thing that the devil has that he knows if he hits you just right, if that person says the right thing, you will turn around and it'll look real good. Some of us might inch a little closer. But God doesn't let us get too far, because then He'll say, hey, look, I got something so much better for you. Why are you paying attention to that? And it's kind of like you realize it, and you got to have the willpower to just go back. You just got to have the willpower to just go back to Him. But then some of us, we're just like, maybe if I can still keep holding your hand, and maybe if I can just still hold this person's hand, this thing, if I can still hold on to that and still serve you, God, I'll be the best Christian ever. I'll be the best person you've ever seen. I'll give to the poor, as long as I can just have this one thing. And we try that. And the thing about that is, it never works. Because we always end up disappointing one or the other. Like I said, we can't just have this complicated relationship with God, because someone's going to just leave. Someone's just going to be like, you know what? I'm done with this. Have them. I don't care. And it's not like God doesn't care about you, but God's not going to be put in a situation where you have to choose the greater option or the filthy stuff, or the greater option and the person that He created that He knows better than you, or the thing that he knows about that's not good for you over him. He's not gonna play that. As a matter of fact, like, this scripture will say it all for me. Check this out. So this is Revelation 3, verse 16. It says, "So because you are lukewarm, and neither hot nor cold, I will spit you out of my mouth." Let me read that again, because this is about to get so real right now. Y'all aren't even ready. "So because you are lukewarm, and neither hot nor cold, I will spit you out of my mouth." And that brings me to this question. How bad do you have to be that God doesn't want you? Like, think about that for a second. If you're right here and you're trying to please God, you got one foot on his side, one foot on the world's side, one foot still stuck in sin. Just how bad do you have to be that God says, look, we're done. God broke up with you. I mean, like it seems extreme, but that's what it's saying. Like, you can't try to please God and please people because they don't match up. You can't take the creation and start serving that when the Creator is so much more deserving of our praise. You can't be like, okay, God, look, I love you, but my friends are here. Because he's going to be like, you go with your friends. Well, I love you, God, but my girlfriend's over here, my boyfriend's over here. Go to your boyfriend. You love them more than you love me. Call this thing off right now, because I'm not gonna play this game with you. God doesn't like games. You ever invited someone over to the party? To a great party, like a big party, and you have like some salsa. Let's just say that. You have some salsa, and it's looking real good right now. Okay, your mom made this, and it is the best thing ever. And that one annoying person just comes in. He's like, that looks pretty good. And he takes like the biggest chip and just scoops the most out of it and then just starts eating it. But then he doesn't stop there because he is the most annoying person in the world. He continues to do so with that same chip and just keeps double dipping. And you're like, I'm not eating anything after him. That dude, that girl is so annoying. But then let's look at us. Because you see, let's say the salsa is life. And you're in the like cool relationship with God. You got God, you got the chip, and you got the salsa right there. Now, you're in a great relationship with God. He's got some awesome, food over there for you. Not just physical, but spiritual, because that's how God works. Can someone say amen to that? Amen. So, you got this chip. Now, this chip is your decision. Now, you can choose to dip that chip in and eat it. And you can choose to take that same chip and keep on eating it, keep on eating it. But the thing is, if you keep on doing that, if you keep on trying to please God and please people, then you're ultimately just going to crash. You can try to eat as much salsa that you want, and eventually you're gonna run out of chips. You're gonna be like, well, God, I need more opportunities, I need more chances here, because the salsa's pretty good right now. It's feeling so good to my tummy. It's just great. And he's like, no, I'm not giving you no more chips. Like, that's how you look at that person. Be like, dude, look, this salsa's great. I need some more chips. Can you hand me some? You're basically asking God to give you more sin. You're basically asking him to give you more of a world that you don't need inside of you, which is crazy, because the only person, the only being, the only thing that we need is God. when we dip into the world, we should be saying, God, look, I don't want that dip. I want this dip because you are the greatest dip in the world. Like it sounds really weird with that analogy, but think about it. People and God can never match up. If God was human, then he'd have certain limitations and he couldn't be God. If we try to understand God, he can't be God. Or we can't be alive. Because even if we did, it's too much for our brains to comprehend. So he's so much better. The relationship with God is so much better. But then it's like every time we take 10 steps forward and we're going hard, we're getting it for God, we're learning, we're praying, we're worshiping, friend comes along. Something comes along. Something that we don't have, that we really want. Because we're humans and we're sinful. Our wants are sinful. Because that comes along, we second guess the relationship, the best relationship we could ever have with anything or anyone. And we end up so many times just going back, double dipping. We're saying, God, this is the last time. And then we look back, and then we just go dip some more. But then we're like, God, you know what? I'm done. I'm not going to double dip anymore. Friend comes along. Okay, well, maybe just this one time. Until we've got hundreds and thousands of times that we've just double dipped. We don't even need that dip. You know why? Because there's some salsa over there. Now, I don't know about you, but I like chips with salsa. Okay, especially, what is it, the Tostitos? Yes, I love Tostitos with salsa. It is the best thing ever. I don't want it with no dip. I don't want no sour cream on my Tostito. I want Jesus. I want something more. I want a better relationship. And the only way I'm going to get there is if I leave everything else that I'm not supposed